the main governance algorithm, if you will, in society is still to this date natural selection in some way. Like in order to survive as a corporation, you need to optimize for profit. In order to survive as a country, you need to optimize for power. But when you optimize around these narrow success metrics, it has a whole host of externalities. I mean, the externality from power optimization is power arms races with like more and more dangerous weapons like nukes. The dangers with optimizing for like, resource acquisition, which profit maximization is to some extent. It's like a classical resource acquisition sort of strategy of survival. Then you don't necessarily care about the long-term flourishing of ecosystems or climate change, or if you have slave labors in your value chains, or if you create pollution in cities that kill 20 million people per year. And if you look sort of back at and zoom in on the problem of corporations specifically and profit maximization, I mean, the concept of profit, it was not handed to us by God. It's something that we invented. We invented this arithmetic called double entry bookkeeping 600 years ago. So that's a specific way of accounting for a profit and loss statement. And that spread like wildfire. And then eventually we institutionalized that because it made it possible for the state to collect taxes, and it had a whole host of advantages. So we eventually said that all corporations, all businesses need to do this type of accounting. But also adding to that, we created this new thing that we invented called legal like entities or corporations, where you can in fact like own shares of a business, and you can trade those shares at stock markets and so on. And then we essentially said and collectively agreed upon that it is a legal responsibility for businesses to optimize for profit, like this other thing that we invented a few hundred years earlier. And that is leading to all of these externalities like climate change and slave labor and bad business practices and so on. So to me, like the one systematic way of changing that would be to reinvent the way we account for success. So what if we actually account for the things that we intrinsically value, like happiness and well-being and flourishing? I mean, it might sound a little bit vague, but through psychological research, it is possible to figure out what we actually like intrinsically value.